Let's turn now to the rest of today's coronavirus headlines. And in a promising message from National Cabinet, we're told we're on the road to freedom. Jonathan Kersley is in Canberra for us. And Jono, we're seeing the first easing of restrictions. What does the way forward look like?
Well, Ali, it will be done gradually. We heard the New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian talk about Anzac Day there. The Prime Minister announced yesterday that restrictions after the Anzac Day weekend on elective surgery will be eased and others could be slowly lifted in a matter of weeks. Scott Morrison also issued a plea to nursing homes. There are concerns some are effectively isolating their elderly residents when they are actually allowed to have two visitors. The National Cabinet is concerned that that is impacting on the mental health of the elderly residents. The National Cabinet also examining the way out of this crisis, but looking at countries like Japan and Singapore and what happens if you live too much too soon, because, Ali, as they've seen there can be a sharp increase in cases which can overload the health system. And that's exactly what National Cabinet has been trying to prevent all along. But to try and defeat this virus here without a vaccine has meant shutdowns, which have hurt the economy in a way we haven't seen since just after the First World War. And what the Reserve Bank Governor says, this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Philip Lowe warns there's months of difficult times ahead. The time this road out will be long and it will be slow.
And we'll be talking to the Health Minister, Greg Hunt, in a few moments. Thanks, Jono.
Well, now to the crisis facing Virgin Australia. Jess Millwood is at the company's headquarters in Brisbane. Good morning to you again, Jess. Already possible buyers are lining up for a bite. What do we know?
Good morning, Carl. Yeah, we know that there's in excess of 10 parties that have indicated they're interested in saving Virgin. Some are based overseas, some are based in Australia. But that's about all we know of them at this time. The CEO is very confident this isn't the end of Virgin, rather a new beginning. The union is calling on the federal government, though, to make a last-minute pledge to buy a stake in the airline, concerned that if they don't, all of Virgin could go overseas. That is something the government has not ruled out. Rather, they've said they'll wait and see how the administrators go in coming weeks. Here is the Deputy PM.
That's a matter for Sir Richard Branson, who does own a Caribbean island, for Etihad, for the Chinese consortia, indeed for Singapore Airlines. But we need a solution out of this. We want two commercially viable airlines coming out of the back end of COVID-19.
Frequent flyer points in the Velocity program will be preserved. No staff redundancies at this point. Carl, we could know within 12 weeks what Virgin Mark II will look like.
Jess, thank you.
Schools across New South Wales are facing the enormous challenge of working out a roster for the gradual return of students to the classroom in just under 3 weeks' time. The New South Wales Teachers Federation says it will be hard to pull off.
A staggered operation of having 25% of kids at school rotating through the school week one day at a time fails to appreciate let alone comprehend the massive organisational and timetabling challenges that presents for our schools. In many settings, it will be near impossible.
New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian says the department has provided guidelines to schools who will ultimately pass on the instructions to parents in the coming weeks. A 92-year-old woman is the third resident to die from COVID-19 at a virus-stricken nursing home in Sydney's West. 42 people have tested positive at Newmarch House in Caddens near Penrith. 14 of those are staff members. There's been plenty of backlash this week following the release of Malcolm Turnbull's memoir, in which he opened up about his time in Parliament and made explosive claims against some of his former colleagues. But he denied the book is a revenge plot against his political enemies when he joined us on the show just a short time ago.
What I've done in the book is be frank. I've told the truth. I mean, I've told people as it happens, warts and all. And, you know, if people feel that description is unflattering to them, perhaps they should have behaved better at the time.
Great interview, you two, too. And Turnbull says while he enjoyed leading the country, he doesn't miss the backstabbing involved in politics, which pushed him into a deep, dark depression. Let's get your weather now with Tim, who's riding around north-west Sydney this morning. G'day, Tim.
I am, Alex. Good morning to you again. That's right, a glorious morning here at Castle Hill is where we're waking up, and we're getting on our bikes because it seems everyone has reverted back to getting on their bikes for a bit of exercise at the moment. It's a great way to isolate socially as well because it's just a one-man job. All right, let's jump into our forecast, though, and see what's happening with the weather around the country for this Wednesday. Today, a possible shower and 31 degrees in store for Cairns. Brisbane, sunny and 31 for you as well. Sydney will be fine today, 26 degrees. 21 ahead for Canberra, mostly cloudy for Melbourne and 19 degrees. A possible early shower, windy for Hobart today. Adelaide, partly cloudy for you, 23 degrees, 24 in store for Perth and cloudy. Alice Springs, mostly sunny, 33 degrees. And a fine sunny day ahead for Darwin today and looking sunny. Well, you'll be very pleased to know, Ali, I know that this morning you weren't so keen on me getting kitted out in my Lycra, but it seems that my friends at 99 Bikes have been able to hook Carl up with some Lycra get up as well. We just need to get him a new e-bike, which is what I'm on this morning. It's an absolute joy to ride. But as I was saying, guys, have a look at your local website for your 99 Bikes. They're all over Australia, but the bike stores around the country at the moment have been overwhelmed. So lots of great advice on what you can do, whether or not you just want to ride around a park like I am doing today on a shared bike path, or if you're a little bit more serious and want to take to the road as well. There's lots of helpful guys in store that can give you plenty of advice for that. Got a bit more riding to do around here in Sydney's northwest, guys, so I will see you in half an hour. Bye.
Well, as my mate Jay-Z says, I got 99 bikes, but there you go. Beautiful.